Caitlin Clark got the last laugh against Diana Taurasi as she broke another unbelievable record. It seems like Caitlin does hold grudges. Everyone knew she deserved to be on Team USA, however, she was snubbed badly. But it looks like she spent the time off getting even better, because the moment the WNBA returned, she came out of the gates firing. It was clear that Caitlin wanted to make a statement, and what's better than going at one of the legends of the game in Diana Taurasi and making her look silly? The way Caitlin played, it was clear she was on a mission to prove that it was her time now. Not only did she dominate the game, but also secured another win against Mercury. With this win, Caitlin is up 3-0 on Taurasi. She also broke one of Taurasi's records during the game.
The assist record in her last game. Remember what a big deal that was with 19? She's now scored or assisted on the most points in any 2-game span in W history. She passed Diana Taurasi. Only seems fitting she shared the court with Diana on this night. Over the last 2 games, Clark has scored or assisted on a mind-boggling 62% of her team's points.
Ouch, that must hurt Taurasi's ego. What's even better is that the way Caitlin dominated the game. It made Taurasi look even worse for ever doubting Caitlin's greatness. By the end of this video, you'll see why Caitlin is about to take over the WNBA for good. As for the game itself, this might be one of those performances we look back in a few years and think, yeah, that's when Caitlin really found her groove in the league. In the first half against the Mercury, Caitlin tallied 16 points on 55.6% shooting, which included 3 triples with 5 assists and 4 rebounds. Just complete and utter dominance. She also made some WNBA history in the process. Caitlin became the first player in WNBA history to score at least 450 points and tally at least 200 assists in a rookie season. Only 5 other players in league history have achieved that feat in any other year of their careers. Caitlin finished the game with 29 points, 5 rebounds, and 10 assists on 50% shooting from the field. But more than the stats, it's how she dominated the game that's really impressive. She dissected the Mercury defense thanks to her incredible vision, which resulted in easy buckets for her teammates play after play. She even had a beautiful full-court dime that had NBA star Tyrese Halliburton in awe. Once she lulls you to sleep with her playmaking, that's when Caitlin brings out the deep threes and flashy drives to the basket. The Mercury defense was so overwhelmed that they didn't know what to do. Should they play her tight and take away her 3? If they did that, then Caitlin simply found a teammate cutting to the basket or had someone set her a screen so she could attack the rim. And if they didn't press up on her, she got her patented 3-ball, which has slowly begun to translate to the WNBA. That's a scary sight for the rest of the league. A few people have criticized her shooting efficiency and have held that against her. However, Caitlin has clearly started to adjust to the WNBA. She has seen the best defenses night in and night out and figured out ways to improve her game. Perhaps where Caitlin truly showed how dangerous she can be was in the open court. Simply put, if her teammates run with her, they are almost guaranteed an easy layup thanks to her amazing court vision. Not only did she set a new record in the WNBA, but she achieved something that only 2 other basketball players in history have achieved. Only 3 rookies in NBA and WNBA history have ever recorded 29 points, 5 rebounds, and 10 assists on 70% true shooting percentage multiple times. One of them is, of course, Caitlin Clark, who has done it twice. The other is Steph Curry, who did it 4 times. And the last person on the list is none other than Michael Jordan, who did it twice as well. Anytime you pass up MJ on a list, it's a good thing. Speaking of all-time greats, Diana Taurasi must be seeing Caitlin in her nightmares. If you guys recall, Diana Taurasi straight up told everyone that Caitlin was in for a rude awakening once she came to the league. Reality is coming. You look superhuman playing against some 18-year-olds, but you're going to come play with some grown women that have been playing professional basketball for a long time. Taurasi faced a lot of backlash for this comment. Many fans labeled her as a hater and that she was simply jealous of Caitlin, who is clearly the new face of the WNBA. However, Taurasi went on to double down on her statement and even called those fans sensitive.
Yeah, it's the new fans are really sensitive these days. You can't say anything. Yeah, it's kind of like when you go from kindergarten to first grade, there's a learning adjustment. When you go from high school to college, there's a learning adjustment. I don't think I said anything that wasn't factually correct, and like anything.
You can say that Taurasi has earned the right to trash talk, seeing that she is one of the greatest WNBA players of all time. But one reason her trash talking rubbed a lot of fans the wrong way is because she is just one of many who have been piling on Caitlin Clark. But after all that back and forth, Taurasi failed to beat Caitlin when they matched up. It was no different when her Fever matched up against Taurasi's Mercury for the second time. If you guys don't recall what happened the first time they matched up, Caitlin was 1 rebound shy of a triple-double. Of course, she made sure to become the youngest player ever to achieve a triple-double in the very next game. However, not setting a historical record against Taurasi must have left a bad taste in her mouth because she went off against Mercury when they matched up for the second time. Caitlin and Aaliyah Boston became the first duo in Fever history to record 20-point double-doubles in the same game. Both of them were cooking the Mercury. However, that wasn't Caitlin's only accomplishment. She also had 7 first-quarter assists, which broke a franchise record. She now has the Fever record for both assists in a single quarter and assists in a single game. And now, after losing for a third time to Caitlin, it looks like Taurasi has had enough. Taurasi seemed to be struggling to regain her form after recently returning from the Paris Games. With minimal time to readjust, she ended the game with 16 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, and 3 turnovers. Adding to her frustrations, she was hit with a technical foul early in the game after a dispute with officials over a call against Brittany Griner. Taurasi is now 1 technical foul away from league punishment. By rule, any player who reaches 7 technical fouls in a single season is issued an automatic 1-game suspension. Seems like Caitlin is in her head. Even during their second matchup, Taurasi was constantly talking to the refs. Taurasi was out due to an injury, which really sucks, because fans were hoping to get a rematch between her and Caitlin. However, just because Taurasi wasn't playing doesn't mean she didn't get cooked by Caitlin. In fact, during the game, Taurasi was visibly frustrated and constantly chirped at the refs to help her team out. We can only imagine how much worse it would have been for her if she was the one getting crossed up by Caitlin or getting deep threes hit on her. Despite Taurasi's best efforts to get the refs involved, they couldn't stop Caitlin and her squad. The same thing was true when they played for a third time. The win was particularly satisfying for Clark, especially in light of a social media jab from the Mercury's team just days before the game. The team had posted a video of a young fan holding a sign. Caitlin has already established herself as the future of the WNBA. However, what's scary is that she hasn't even reached her true potential. It's pretty common for rookies to start off slow and hit the rookie wall midway through the season. For Caitlin, that wall came early because she basically had no rest from her college career to the WNBA. That's one of the reasons why her efficiency was poor. But thanks to the Olympic break, Caitlin got to rest her mind and body. She seems to be energized from the break and is coming back with a chip on her shoulder. She entered Friday night's game just 13 assists away from setting the single-season WNBA rookie record, currently held by Ticha Penicheiro. So that's another domino that might be falling soon enough. The Fever also entered Friday's game in 7th place overall in the WNBA standings with a 11-15 record. Although there have been a few slip-ups like the high turnovers or adjusting to the schedule and the tougher defenses, Caitlin has also lived up to her side of the deal. She is a game changer. There are more eyes on the WNBA than ever before thanks to Caitlin and her dynamic play. Speaking of play, many believed that Caitlin would be a superstar down the road, but a few could have predicted her meteoric rise. Not only has she been helping her team battle for the playoff spot, but she is doing so by putting together one of the most impressive rookie seasons of all time, all the while dealing with the hate and negativity that is constantly thrown her way. That's what you expect a superstar to do.